Hi everyone, welcome to this instructional video for your proposal assignments. So the point of this video is to walk you through the instructions for this assessment and get you oriented in how to complete it. So let's start. So this proposal is kind of your first step on the path to completing your major Satori research seminar in this class. So this assessment is linked to the project that you are going to be working on your own throughout the semester, and you'll be presenting later on in the semester. So I've made another video to walk you through what a Satori should look like and how to go about doing that. But for this video, we are just going to focus on the proposal, the first steps. So the Satori seminar presentation is worth 25% of your final grade. So that's a big chunk. So you're going to want to start early and pay a lot of attention to working through some of the comments and feedback that I'll be giving you on this proposal assessment. Now the proposal is worth 10% of your final grade. And what you are going to be doing for this assignment is selecting the focus of your technology that you are going to be analyzing and sharing in your Satori presentation. So the key here is to pick something that's really specific. I know there's a tendency to think like, oh goodness, how am I going to fill up this whole project? I better think generally. Don't do that. The reason being is because it makes things harder for yourself. So be really specific when you pick a technology. And what I mean by this is, for example, instead of selecting the internet as your topic, pick a particular function of the internet. So maybe you're really interested, when you think of the internet, you're thinking about Google search engine technology or algorithm technology, or you're interested in social media and specific social media like Instagram or Twitter. And then try to think even more specifically than that, like what particular aspect of these technologies is of interest to you. And I'll tell you a little secret. The more specific you can be, the more precise and easier your research for this project will be. Trust me, I'm a professional. So pick a really specific topic focus. The next thing that you are going to be working on in this assessment is drafting your learning outcomes and concepts to get your presentation started in a fruitful direction. Because at the end of the day, the purpose of your Satori seminar is to provide a teachable moment for your colleagues in the class about your topic and about the social implications of your technology. So I'm going to be prompting you in this assignment to start thinking about learning outcomes, and we'll see a little bit more about how I'm doing that in just a moment. You're going to be selecting and refining a short list of articles, both academic and non-academic materials that will provide you with some of the research groundwork. So it's sort of the equivalent of getting shovels in the ground on a construction site. You'll be getting some research under your belt, and then that allows you to dig more and more into your topic area. And then you're going to be putting together just a brief work plan. I find that when I personally have kind of a goal and breaking down a big project into smaller chunks, I tend to get things done, and done a lot more efficiently and effectively. So I'm going to be inviting you to do the same in this assessment. So you can see here there's a section called Task, and in the Task section, this is the kernel of the assignment. So what you are going to be doing is copying and pasting this entire table into a new document, and it couldn't be easier to do. If you haven't had an opportunity to do this before, I'll show you right now. So what you'll do, you'll go to this little arrow box thing, you'll click on it and see how everything here is nice and highlighted. Then you're going to use whatever command functions are on your computer. I'm using a Mac, but I do know that PCs, it's a whole different world. I don't understand. But you'll know what I'm talking about. So go to your copy command function. For me, it's Command C. Then you will want to make and open a new document. So I press Command N, which pops open a fresh new document. And where that cursor is, I want my new table to go in there. So for me, to paste, I press Command V. And in it goes. And there we go. We're on our way. So what will be happening in for your responses, you are going to be filling in the responses on this table. Type your stuff here. And that's all you have to do. So as you can see here, there are sections divided and questions for you to respond to. So for example, in the technology focus section, here's where you are going to be telling me about what topic that you've picked, what sort of contextualizing information there is to be shared about it. Is it historical, modern, or emerging? You're asked to identify and outline anticipated areas of the social impact, so you can do point form stuff here. And I ask you a question about why you picked that topic, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea. So you just follow along in this table, and you type your responses, and you can edit all of your responses here. Now, stuff that is in blue colored font are guides. So I've made a distinction from the questions that you'll be answering by turning things blue. So for learning outcomes, I have a little blurb for you about how to create and set meaningful, measurable objectives for your teaching tutori, your research tutori. What good outcomes look like, and all you do is you click on the link and it'll open up in a new window on your browser. So those are some resources that you can use to get an idea of how to make really strong learning objectives. The last little note here is that if you're really stumped and need some inspiration, you can always look to my notebooks that you work on in our modules in this class, because I have set them up so that they should look like what I'm asking you to do. So you'll notice that there are learning objectives. I tell you all what activities that you're going to be doing in that module. So you're going to be doing much of the same thing in your tutories eventually. But for this assessment, you are going to be drafting some of your learning statement ideas to the best of your ability at this point. It's early, but there's a bit of method for the madness, because if we start early and maybe don't have the strongest learning objectives and statements, there's time to work on them and get feedback from them. So that's why I like to strike early in these sorts of assignments. So you'll be working through these questions about learning statements, learning objectives, and finding some key terms to work with. Then the next feature you are going to be looking at are drafting ideas for your learning prompts and activities. So you will see both learning prompts and activities in my tutorial notebooks that you work on. And a good example of what a learning prompt looks like are the think stops. So it asks people to reflect on what they know about a topic, or maybe I give you an image or a video or podcast or something that you can engage with and then ask some pointed questions. So there is some guidance here on what it is that makes a good learning prompt. And likewise with a learning activities, you can draft out your ideas for the activities like matching mini quizzes or multiple choice. You can try them out here. It's a nice way to get some feedback bright and early. The next section, of course, is a short list for your articles, and here you will be gathering a few resources that you can use as a jumping off point to further your research later on in the semester about your topic. So what I'm asking you to do is to find 2 articles that you believe will best assist you in your learning journey. And you're going to be including annotations. And really what an annotation is just a summary of the article in 1 or 2 sentences, and then a little rationale on how you think you are going to use that article in your work. So, of course, this is all anticipatory stuff right now, but trust me, knowing what you have and having a bit of inventory and taking the time to think about how you can use it in your project is a huge help. You'll thank me later. And then finally, the last little section here is a work plan. So I've listed out weeks 6 through 12. And here, what you will be doing is maybe making some notes on how you want to break this big project down into smaller chunks for these weeks. And again, you'll have to trust me, I'm a professional. Breaking big projects down is the best thing that you can do. It will give you plenty of time to think through what you want to include and what you need, and it'll give you time to find the strongest bits of research for your project. So starting early is always a good idea. Little bits every week go a long way. So I'm going to flip back to our instructions here, because what we did was just basically look at the actual assignment, but there's a few more things that you will be expected to do, and you will find this information in the requirements and submission guidelines. So you were going to make sure you have a title page that is formatted in APA style. You can find information about APA 7 by Googling it. Chances are you have access to Cites and Sources, which is our kind of standard citation manual here at the college. If you don't have access to that because of limited access to all things due to COVID-19, you can find all of this online, or just send me a note and I can get you pointed in the right direction. So you're going to have a title page, you're going to have the outline table that I just showed you how to do in a new document. Just so you know, there are no minimum or maximum length requirements. What I want you to think about is developing as substantive and thoughtful answers to each of the questions. Point form is accessible where it's appropriate, but of course it's always best to use full sentences where possible. And then when you're ready to submit your outline before the deadline, there is, in the same folder where you're finding this video and the instruction document, you will find a link where you can upload your documents nice and easily. So just so you know, all submissions are done electronically on Blackboard by no later than midnight on Friday, February 12th of 2021. And then the rest of this here is just letting you know how I'm evaluating your work. And if you're really stumpered and having a hard time maybe whittling down a topic that excites you to work on, I have included a topic menu. So this is, of course, by no means an exhaustive list of things that you can work on, but really just a way to maybe get the wheels turning for you. So this menu here has topic areas, so there's energy and the environment, medicine and genetics, communication technologies, work and life, transportation, and military and defense. And as you can see here, there's just about everything you can think of. So, you know, for military and defense, there's machine guns, flintlocks, U-boats, missiles, drones. So there's lots of technologies, old and new. So again, if there's something on the list that you would like to pursue, awesome, go for it. If there's something on in this menu that isn't, if there is something that you're interested in that is not on the menu, no problem, just let me know and we can work towards creating your topic so that it is efficient and a workable topic for this assessment. But there's lots of stuff here that you are welcome to work on, regardless of your background and interest. All right, folks, so one last little piece before we say bye. You will find all of this goody stuff by clicking on Assignments and Tests, going to our Proposal Assignment folder, and then everything you need is here, and this video will be plumped right here when we're all done filming. Okay, so hopefully that gave you a bit of confidence to be able to complete this assessment and have a little bit of fun doing it. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I'm really happy to help you. So send me an email, and I hope this has been useful. All right, land out. Bye.